Welcome to WYCD Wicked. That stands for What You Can Do. Tonight, I am joined by the great Andrea Rovinsky. Hi, buddy. How you doing? Oh, no audio yet. See if we can plug that in.
Is it working yet? Hello?
It's working.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
How about now?
Still yes.
Okay, good.
So here's the deal. I'm going to give a pitch to the audience as to what I'm hoping to get tonight. But I'm gonna. Oh, good. Oh, Jesus God. So here's the deal.
Come on, guys.
It's perfect for the thumbnail. So here's the deal. I am of the belief that we can come to some agreement with MAGA voters on some issues. I think we disagree on so many things that if we just look for the easiest amongst these things, we can actually get we can shish kebab some problems here. That's the hope, and I'm going to give them the opportunity. But I think the problem is that we don't agree on the facts, just the reality we're operating in. So I'm going to give them the opportunity to talk to either your old pal Jake or Andrea here. And should I be introducing you as above it all, or are you just sticking with Andrea Ravinsky?
I don't care. You can do whatever.
All right. But the point is they get to pick who they're talking to. And I'm going to pitch this so we have some structured, some kind of a structure here. Let's you and I critique how the other one failed. Historically speaking, we will fail. No mind.
We're assuming, by the way, that anyone's going to call in.
I'm hoping specifically a gentleman by the name of OPC Dan calls in. Talked to him on a show yesterday. Seemed like there was some interest. We'll find out. If it's not, then you and I can just holler at each other for a bit.
Well, I'm trying to hopefully make it seem like this is a friendly space. You know, if anyone showed up here without it, like an uninitiated individual, shall we say, they might assume it's a friendly space. So
And you know what? I want it to be a friendly space. I don't think, if I'm honest with you guys, I think if you're a MAGA person who's watching this, I probably wouldn't advise you to subscribe to my channel. You're not gonna like what I have to say about you specifically most of the time. But the rules are different today. I'm inviting you in. I put a thumbnail up inviting you in, which means I'm gonna give you a little bit of grace. Oh no, I'm looking at my chat just now, and it seems that anti-corporatists may have COVID.
Rip.
I have COVID and I'm holing up at a hotel. Dude, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
In a hotel also sucks. Hotel beds.
Oh, I respectfully see. We already have debate ready because I respectfully disagree on that
No, we
point.
all know you're springing for those big beds, the top quality.
I just the idea that somebody else will have to clean the sheets makes it much nicer to sleep in.
Oh, that's fair.
I do try to like be as neat as possible, but there's just something about being like, oh yeah, spreading every which way. I'm not gonna fold this nonsense. Feels good. Hey, Melanie Cosmic Fox is here. By the way, Andrew, while we're waiting for hopefully OPC Dan or any MAGA voter to call in, Melanie invited me on to a show yesterday. It's the one I was gushing about in chat.
Okay,
Holy
how'd it
shit, it
go?
was fun. I went great. It was a hoot, man.
Did you win?
That's the thing. You don't really win. It's just
Oh,
sort of an experience. And
okay.
I thought I knew what it was going in. I looked at another episode. I'm like, oh yeah, a little political talk show, and we do it like it's a dating format. It's much more literal. It was an actual yeah, it's an actual dating show, but the premise, I'm going to do some free advertising for Melanie's show here. The premise is that callers call in and pitch woo to the hosts, and then they judge
Okay.
on how they've done. I ended up like watching the whole thing. It's a hoot. It's a lot of fun.
It sounds good. I'll have to check it out.
Melanie says I was also mistaken. Look, however we got there, I think you guys have stumbled upon a gold for a format there. I don't think the Left Past 10 crew could quite pull off the same thing. We're too prone to shenanigans ourselves.
Oh,
I guess
shenanigans are the best.
they are pretty great. They're pretty great. Those cold opens are getting better and better, man. Your reaction sold the last one, in my humble opinion.
The fucking what was that? Clipart.com? Like, where did you get that?
I think that was a still from somebody's green screen video of a brain.
A real
I should have
brain?
maybe, maybe, probably not, but definitely.
Well, all right. I was unexpected the first time I saw it, which of course was on stream.
I mean, yeah. All right. So in lieu of a Trump voter calling in, here's what I'm thinking we can do to get this thing started. I'll lead us here, but
All
let's
right.
each of us let's both do our best pitch to a Trump voter for something we would like them to do, as in calling their representative and asking for this, or voting for a different person.
Can I go first?
I'm gonna. Oh, can you go first? Absolutely.
All right. So we're gonna pitch just so I understand the rules. We're pitching to Trump voters out there, of which you should call into the show, by the way.
Yes.
And how do they do that? Is that in the description or something?
Yeah, I've pinned a comment in the
Okay.
YouTube chat. They can click in
Excellent.
there. I'm gonna give you this as the caveat. You have to sincerely believe the things you are saying to them. So you have to, yeah, you can't lie to them, and you
All
have to
right.
pick
Excellent.
something that's in their best interest.
It's in their best interest.
arguably, or just something you think they should do.
Okay. All right. So to all the Trump people out there, of course, after you call into the show, this would be something I would recommend. Isn't life hard these days? Doesn't life suck? You ever wake up in the morning and think, why even bother? You know? Because sometimes I do. I wake up and I'm staring at the ceiling, thinking to myself, Jesus, why even go on another day? And, sometimes when I'm in this state of mind, something that goes through my mind is, wouldn't the world be better off without me? Haven't we thought about this? What? Why am I full screen? I don't want to be full screen. Get me out of here.
All right, here. Let me do another setup here.
All right.
Son of a gun!
Whoa.
I'm making this worse and worse.
Whoa.
All right, we'll keep it classic.
We're zooming in. Holy shit. Whoa. What's going on? Oh. Anyway.
Whoa, wait. This will be good. Wait, this will almost. There we go.
Is this good?
Yeah.
All right, so
you got the stage, my friend.
Okay, so wake up. Really don't want to go on, right? So you love Donald Trump, don't we all? Bigly, and all that kind of stuff, right? So now again, wouldn't you ever once in a while you just think, you got a friend, you got a family member, maybe, I mean, Trump's been around for a while, you might not have any left, but I've been there too, buddy, right? So you always understand, right? There's times where you're happy, you're sad, we're in sad times. Life kind of sucks. Gas prices are through the roof. I read somewhere the other day that they quadrupled since Comrade Kamala Harris showed up. Right? So again, why bother living? Right? Like, again, just think about it. Why bother living, especially when the communists are going to take over? Why give them the satisfaction of re-educating you? Why give them the satisfaction of, winning an election? Again, they can't really say, oh, look, we won an election if all the voters for the other guy aren't around to vote anymore, right? Think of it. It's the ultimate act of going up against tyranny, is not letting them tyrannically control you anymore. So again, what I'm getting at is, to all the MAGA voters out there, again, just consider it. Just consider it. Think about it. Wouldn't the world be better off without you, without us? Us Trumpers. So, also call into the show.
Here's the thing. I don't think you're going to get a lot of takers on that particular pitch. And if you do, you'll never hear about it.
I hope, please, if anyone does change their mind based on anything I've said, please leave some sort of note or message behind that says that I'm the one who convinced you. That would
have the FBI knocking on the door real quick. Fair enough. Here's my pitch to you, Trump voters. So I'm going to assume that, like me, you do not care for there we go. I'm going to assume that, like me, you don't care for the ultra rich interfering with our elections. For me, it's I don't like Elon Musk saying he's going to drop, $41 million into Trump's campaign. For you, I believe the boogeyman is George Soros or Bill Gates or Oprah. Look, I'm teasing you here, but the fact is, I don't like those people being overly involved in our elections either, because the word for somebody that is so rich that they can influence the country in which they operate, it's called an oligarch. And we have U.S. oligarchs, and every last one of them is a villain. Doesn't matter if they support the Democrats or the Republicans, they are villainous individuals. I think you, me, and that gal over there ought to get together and tell all of our representatives that we want big money out of politics. I don't care how right-wing your representative is. Mine is so left-wing, her name is Rashida Tlaib, and yet I have a suspicion that we will all be happier if we call them and tell them, get big money out of politics. Sign a constitutional amendment undoing Buckley versus Vallejo, the decision by the Supreme Court, which is why we have these oligarchs. Citizens United is another one that says that corporations get to have all the rights of human beings. That means a corporation gets all the rights that you do? Makes no sense. It's not a human being. So my pitch to you, MAGA voters, call your representatives. Tell them you want big money out of politics. And by the way, I have some bona fides on this, some bipartisan bona fides. Rashida Tlaib wants it. No, no, don't do that. Don't do that. You monster. Okay, thank Christ. I don't think the proletariat should give up $1 to be crystal clear. Other bona fides, Matt Gaetz, the kitty diddler, the far right dude, Matt Gaetz, also thinks we should get big money out of politics. So consider that.
It's not bad. Not bad.
You think so? Yeah. I think we did pretty good.
I was trying to do that, that like speech thing, the ASL people on the side. That's what I was going for.
Oh,
I don't know
I should have
language,
appreciated that more.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just doing like charades.
Apparently, that's not a pre-qualification for the job.
Damn.
I don't know if you saw that, but there was somebody that literally did not know the correct sign language, and they were just making it up, and it was very
That's awesome.
fun.
Oh wow,
it was pretty great.
That's
I say
pretty
take
good.
it
That's ADA compliant.
They should have just been like,
"Can we get Debbie to call in?"
Yes, I wanted to talk to Debbie in particular. Debbie, I remember you from the show yesterday. I'm so happy you're here. If you want to call in and ask which one of us you'd like to discuss something with, maybe try to convince us to vote a certain way or to advocate for a certain thing. But you're welcome to do that. But I'll tell you, the question on the table tonight, for me at least, is January 6th. You say life was better under Trump. I fully disagree with that statement on basically every level. But I will say this, at least under Trump, until the very end, we had a peaceful transition of power. It's just, when he lost power, that he refused to give it up. We have to get square on that, Debbie. You and I have to be on the same page about what happened. Either Trump needs to go to prison or Joe Biden needs to go to prison. But both of them can't be free. Now, I'm willing to believe that you just have the wrong facts. Or maybe I just have the wrong facts. Maybe she's got the wrong facts. We don't know. Let's get together and politely share the information that we have at hand. Share why we believe what we believe.
Also, I'm just willing to say I'm down to debate any subject. We can do live fact checking. If you want to accuse me of lying, we can look it up live. We can embed the browser into the stream. We can look it up. Any subject. January 6th, whatever, I don't mind. We can talk about gas prices. We can talk about the economy. We can talk about the transgenders. We can talk about the dogs, the cats, the geese. We could talk about anything. So I'm just saying, I'm open to anything.
You can talk to me about January 6th, or you can talk to Andrea about literally anything. It's going to be harder, though, talking to her, because she is, I warn you, about 10 degrees smarter than me when she's not even trying. Tell me how Trump caused the insurrection.
So hopefully that will negate.
That'll even it out. Tell me how Trump caused the insurrection. I would encourage you to call in, Debbie. I mean, if you want to do it over text, you can.
Yeah, Debbie's a professional podcaster for 14 years. I've been doing YouTube stuff for probably around that same time period. So we're both equally skilled. Let's go. Do I have a Twitter? Yeah. Yes. I will. I don't know how to link my Twitter. I can't do it. I don't know how to do it.
Oh, wait, I got you.
It won't let me. I'm not logged in apparently on this window, which is unfortunate.
You are one of the few people. I have Wiki Feet as the first the first thing that comes up
Oh,
is the
yeah.
wiki
I
feed.
used to be one of the top rated on that website.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious. Yeah. I was on the front page at one point.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's real.
I love the internet. I genuinely do. Here's Andrea Rovinsky's Twitter. 1 second. Bada boom. Okay, so let me answer your question, Debbie, because it is a serious question. Let's go back up.
Oof. X.com. What's that?
Tell me how Trump caused the insurrection. Happily. So Trump tried to sow confusion first and foremost. I wrote about this leading up to the election, as in I knew he was doing this as he was doing it. He sowed doubt by trying to tell people don't mail in your ballots, even though traditionally Republicans prefer to vote that way. He said, "Don't mail in your ballots." And then on election night, when at first it looked like Republicans were winning, that was because, and I wrote an article specifically saying this will happen. Don't listen to Trump when he tells you it's a steal. On election night, because he had told his voters not to mail in their ballots but to vote in person, Republican votes got counted first, which meant it looked like Trump was winning. Then the mail in votes, as in the people who took COVID seriously, the mail Democrat voters, the mail in votes started to get counted, and they blew past Trump because Trump lost by over 7 million votes. This was understood not only within a week of it happening, not only within an hour of it happening, but as it was happening, we knew exactly what was happening. We knew exactly what was going on. There was no confusion except the confusion that Trump and MAGA intentionally spread. We have a whole chain of events that have been documented. But essentially, what happened is this: Trump kept refusing to admit that he lost fair and square, which is what happened. Leading up to January 6th, where he gathered a crowd of 10,000 people and told them to go down to the Capitol, even though he did not have permission to do that. Let me repeat this. The people who were filling out the permission slip, if you will, for the event being held that day in D.C., specifically said they would not go down to the Capitol. Trump sent them there. What then happened was inevitable. That is, on its face, stochastic terrorism. That is what he engaged in. He used stochastic terrorism to try a coup. You have to reckon with that. There is no other policy he could pitch that is good enough to forgive a coup d'etat.
Can I chime in
Tell
and
me how I'm
say,
wrong. Yeah, go
why
ahead.
is Debbie not calling into the show? Is like,
I don't think she feels comfortable calling it.
I mean, it's just, professional podcaster for over 14 years. I feel like probably should just call it. I'm just saying, I'm just throwing that out there.
Maybe she's having an off night. I wish she would. It would make a better show for us. But if she's listening, okay, I'll take that.
Well, yeah, so she wants you to say that, Trump said, walk over there peacefully, blah, 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 all this horse shit, as if, as if everyone in the room doesn't, like is like has like a 3 IQ or something. Debbie must really think that Trumpers are fucking stupid, right? Because she thinks that Trumpers would think, oh yeah, Donald Trump told us to go there peacefully. Yeah, let's do it peacefully, right? As if they're so stupid they don't understand the subtext. Right, right, Debbie? You think they're so dumb they don't understand the subtext. That's your defense.
Well, let's pause this. The question she's asking is, what did he tell them to do? Uh, he told them to fight like hell. Specifically, Rudy Giuliani
You're
said
not supposed to
trial by
mention that part.
combat.
Whoa, you can't talk about that. That's not part of the narrative.
He said you got to fight like hell or you won't have a country anymore. That's what he told them. Now, in a group of 10,000 people, Debbie, I want you to consider something. What percentage of them will have heard whatever interpretation of it you're currently typing out right now instead of listening to me? And what percentage of them would take that literally?
So, okay, Debbie. So did Rudy Giuliani not say that? Like, do you want us to fucking get the tape? What do you
Hold
mean we're
on.
lying? What are you fucking talking about?
She says, and don't lie, see lefties lie. Now, Andrea's yelling at you, but I have the same sentiment. Let me just express
What
it
the fuck are
differently.
you talking about? These motherfuckers said it on live television. Are you
Oh, yeah,
fucking
true.
stupid? What the fuck?
No, no, we're not calling people
All right,
stupid
all
here.
right, all right.
We're thinking it real hard, but we're not saying it. Genuinely, Debbie, where is the lie? I'm not trying to goad you. I'm asking sincerely, what part of what I said do you think was untrue? Because if it was untrue, I don't want to keep repeating it. But I have video evidence of Trump saying, we're going to go down to the Capitol and you got to fight like hell or you're not going to have a country anymore.
Do you want to play the
Oh,
video?
you're in for a delightful 4 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna tediously pull that up. And Debbie, please do express to me, and I'm not saying this sarcastically. Please do express to me where you feel I have not been fully truthful, because that's the goal here. And here's the thing: if I was wrong about something, let me know how, so I am no longer wrong.
You gotta roll the tape.
Oh, I'm pulling up the tape.
Yeah, it would be great if the 14-year veteran professional podcaster would show up. That'd be,
Maybe she will.
it's a damn
Maybe she'll be.
shame. Maybe her professional podcasting equipment's on the fritz.
I mean, look. Consider this. Whoopsie daisies. If she doesn't have her stuff set up, she doesn't have her stuff set up.
It's true.
But she does. At the very least, she's willing to sit down and have a conversation, a back and forth. That's all we really need here. Debbie, in case you thought I was lying about that. Oh, play it. Okay, fair enough. We'll play it.
Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
It was an hour-long speech filled with falsehoods and calls to action. You'll never take back our country with weakness, President Trump told a fired-up crowd at his Save America rally, urging his thousands of followers to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue and fight like hell. Less than an hour later, the first violence at the Capitol. The siege lasts 3 hours, with at least 140 officers injured.
All right. Before we delve into this whole thing, let me just see if we're on the same page with the first 30 seconds. Debbie, was that satisfactory to you? I'm not asking that you agree with my whole point. Was that satisfactory to you that he said, fight like hell?
Clicking play on a video is lying? We're lying because we clicked play on a video.
No. Debbie.
I'm lying.
Debbie.
Watching a video is lying.
Let me answer your question specifically. I don't see. You say, you're lying already. I don't see.
What are we lying? That's the thing. Like, I would love if she would tell us what we're lying about, because I know you've asked like 12 times what we've lied about.
Let me give you let me give the most generous interpretation of this. Debbie's saying, invert this. Imagine that we said, when did Barack Obama, I don't know, say he was going to drink the blood of Christian babies or whatever, and then they played a Fox News clip.
You can't post links, Debbie. You posted something into the void. How are you a 14-year professional podcaster and you didn't know that links are disabled in YouTube chat? 14 years and you didn't know that? That's really interesting, Debbie. That's really interesting.
All right.
14
You're
years.
saying play what he said. We did, but I'll play a non. That the purpose of that clip is that it's summed up quickly. But okay, let me just play the speech. Trump, Jan 6 speech. Fight like hell.
You're lying. I won't tell you what you're lying about, but you're lying. Oh, if you posted this link, an army of your listeners would show. We would love that, Debbie. I would love to debate all of them. I don't know if Jake is down to be here for that long, but like if you wanted to hop over to my show, I'm down to go until midnight. If you wanted to bring your army of listeners,
love it.
14 years, you probably got a lot of listeners. I would love to talk to all of them about whatever you choose. We'll play any links you want. I'm not the one producing the show. Jake's the one clicking all the buttons. So, I'll open a private chat with you and me. You can post any links directly to me, Debbie, if you want to do that.
All right. So, hold up. Debbie, by the way, truly, I would love that. I'm trying to convince you guys that you are supporting a traitor. But here's the thing, Debbie, and I'll say this again, but I need you. Hold on, this needs to get off screen. I need you to start acting like this. If I'm wrong, you can tell me how. You're going to stop saying I'm a liar, though, because that is not so.
Or
but
at least, at the very least,
I would invite
the lie.
your army of listeners. I would invite them to come by and either educate the two of us, because we've been horribly misled if that's the case, or get
I went to college.
yourself.
The worst decision I ever made, though. I got indoctrinated hard, Debbie. I need some help. Please help me.
I dropped out of community college, but the indoctrination stuck anyway. All right, so Debbie, look, we're going to listen to about 30 seconds of Giuliani and then a lot of seconds of Trump. This was the January 6th speech, the part we're talking about.
Evidence. Criminals hide evidence, not honest people. So, over the next 10 days, we get to see the machines that are crooked, the ballots that are fraudulent, and if we're wrong, we will be made fools of. But if we're right, a lot of them will go to jail.
They were wrong. They were made fools of, and a lot of you guys went to jail. Rudy Giuliani hasn't gone to jail yet, but we're moving on to Trump.
So, let's have trial by combat.
All of us here today do not.
One more time, listen to what Rudy Giuliani, Trump's attorney, said on stage. Then we're going to go to what Trump said.
So, let's have trial by combat.
All of us here today do not want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what.
It was not stolen. By this point, he had had 60 cases thrown out of court. Debbie, it was not stolen. There is no evidence, and never was any evidence, that it was stolen. So understand, when he said that up there to a crowd of 10,000 that he was about to send to the Capitol, he lied, and he knew he was lying when he said it. More words directly out of his mouth.
They're doing, and stolen by the fake news media. That's what they've done and what they're doing. We will never give up.
The reason I think that you don't believe in reality is because he keeps saying that the people whose job it is to report to you reality are lying. Debbie, either he's lying or they're lying, but it ain't both.
Prove it wasn't.
Never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft.
He didn't even concede the Emmys, Debbie. When he lost in the Emmys, he said it was rigged. When he lost one state in the Republican primaries, he said the whole thing was rigged. When he won against Hillary Clinton, he said ahead of time that he would only accept the results if he won. And now here he is saying, you never concede. And you're telling me that this time he wasn't lying?
Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore. And that's what this is all about.
Definitely
And to
no
use
violent
a
undertones.
favorite term.
What now?
I said definitely no violent undertones.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
to
No.
we're gonna take it and all this fucking stuff. But notice, by the way, in the chat room, that Debbie Dally is saying prove they didn't steal the election. Before
No,
the
Debbie,
argument was prove Trump incited the riot. Now we're talking about
we'll
proving
get
the
there.
election lie. We'll get
That's
there,
a good point.
Debbie.
Yeah,
Just
no,
hold your
that's a fair
goddamn
point.
horses.
Proof they didn't steal the election. Okay, we're going to put a pin in that. Let's go back to this. Did he incite the riot? He's talking to a crowd of 10,000 people a few blocks away from where the votes are being counted. And he says,
And to use a favorite term that all of you people really came up with, we will stop the steal.
"Gotta
We
stop
have
that
come to
steal."
demand that Congress do the right thing and only count the electors who have been lawfully slated.
All of the electors were lawfully slated.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Today,
That's his out. That's the reason right now that you're supporting him, because in addition to everything else, he said peacefully and patriotically. Let's see if he contradicts that.
will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity of our elections, but whether or not they stand strong for our country. Our country has been under siege for a long time.
He says the country was under siege for a long time. All right, Debbie, is that's now I want to be brutal here. Is that satisfactory to you that he
It's not,
incited?
because he said peacefully, so it's absolutely not satisfactory. Because that's the thing. Trump knows that dumb motherfuckers like Debbie.
No, we're not doing that.
Trump knows that highly intelligent people like Debbie in the chat are going to hear one thing and they're going to go like, well, you see, well, actually, it's not real. What you're saying isn't real because he said peacefully. That's why he said peacefully. That's why politicians lie. Like Debbie
I don't think Debbie really believes that.
I
think
know. I don't know. I don't know that she won't come on here and talk to us.
I've got a hunch.
These weird
Debbie.
layers of communication here.
I've got a hunch, Debbie, that you are looking to defend this person and are not sincerely listening to the entirety of this guy's speech.
Can we get
the
Ted
message
Cruz
he
off the
sent?
screen?
Yeah, that's a great point. I think you are not sincerely listening to the message this guy sent. And I think you are looking, by locking in on one phrase in a scree, including the guy's attorney coming up there before and saying, fight like hell. I think you're locking in and trying to use that as an excuse to get out of genuinely thinking about this. Because if he did this thing, then your support for him cannot continue. If you admit he did this thing, you simply cannot continue to support
Debbie
him. I think you
says that
want
we're
to.
putting words in Trump's mouth, and that's actually not true because we just played the clip. And also, again,
all right, sorry, go ahead. You're right.
Yeah, it's just that like Debbie doesn't understand how politicians speak. Apparently, politicians speak in code, right? Like, is this a new phenomenon that politicians maybe sometimes are a little dishonest with how they speak about things in certain ways?
No, I mean, you've got a point there, but I'm going to acknowledge here, Debbie's got a point. I said, not you, not anybody else, I said that he said, fight like hell. I need to go pull up the exact quote. Who said fight like hell? I need to pull it up so that we can be clear that we're talking about the same thing. Because otherwise, we're asking her to believe something I said about it. And I said he literally said that. So let's find out. Did he literally say that? Maybe this is Mandela effect, and he didn't literally say that.
Is Nelson Mandela still alive? Stay tuned.
Only right-wing Mandela.
Of course. That's the Mandela effect.
Listen, you liberal cock. It's been so long. I miss that. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-da-da-da-ba. Sorry, uh it's going to get a little boring while I scrub through this.
Can I ask what if you have any takes on Loomergate, Jake?
I don't get that. So what happened? Laura Loomer, give me the breakdown.
All right. Well,
Sounds
Laura
like Laura
Loomer and
Loomer.
Donald Trump had some excruciatingly painful sex, apparently, allegedly. Allegedly. Okay, this is the rumors, right? There's videos circulating of Donald Trump touching Laura Loomer in interesting ways in a public event, and Laura Loomer reacting in very interesting ways. So there's people are wondering, are they fucking? Now, I personally believe yes, they are, because I mean, why not? You know, like Donald Trump's going down with the ship. You might as well have some fun on the way down, right? So that's Loomergate, essentially.
Mm. So the entirety of it is that they, due to the way they were interacting, it
Well, yeah,
seems
and
like they
like
might be.
Laura Loomer's like following him around constantly. He's just, or she's like at every event that he's at. She was on the debate team, you know, prepping him for the debate. You know, it's just very close contact recently.
Okay. I gotta tell you, that really does make me want to retch on a number of
Oh
ways.
yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Oh God. All right, so here's the deal. I have confirmed through the AP and NPR, and I know you're probably not going to trust that second one, that he did say "fight like hell." You'll have to forgive me, Debbie. I am now I'm looking for video.
Oh man.
Yep.
Do we have
No,
any
this is
Trump
important.
supporters in the audience? Does anyone want to debate us? I know Debbie, we're trying to have a conversation with Debbie, but if anyone
Yeah.
else wants to show up or say like, hey, me next, now would be the time to say it. And if anyone in Debbie's army wants to show up, because Debbie has a whole army. She's been podcasting for 14 years. She has a whole gigantic army out there. So if anyone out there wants to show up and have a debate, there's a pinned chat message, is that right? With the instructions to join StreamYard?
Correct.
Excellent, excellent. We got Max the dog here. This is Max the dog. You can see him.
All right. Well, maybe this will be sufficient for Debbie. Let's see. And Debbie, I'm going to give you the right to say this is not sufficient. You need the video clip if that's truly how you feel. But here is the Associated Press. Nope, this is NPR. All right, 1 second. Fight like hell. This is the Associated Press. The House impeachment debate on Wednesday heard a distorted account of President Trump's remarks to his supporters a week ago when he extorted them to fight like hell before they stormed the Capitol. Let's see if the phrase "you're not going to." All right. Here is a transcript of a remark he said. We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. Is that sufficient for you, Debbie, or do you want me to pull up the full speech? And
Debbie says, no, you're having trouble making it look a certain way. All right, Debbie, I don't know if you understand how the rules of debate function, but if you're making a claim, you need to be specific. Making it look a certain way. What are you talking about? What way are we trying to make it look? You keep telling us we're lying. What are we lying about? We keep trying to make it look a certain way. What are we making it look like? We keep putting words in his mouth. What words are we putting in his mouth? Can you be more specific, please?
She's saying that she does not believe the fight like hell comment. And in fairness, we haven't pulled it up yet. I pulled it up now, the transcript, but she wanted us to play the video evidence because I said there's video evidence. Fair enough.
All right.
We are going to go through it. I believe it was close to the end. And he did.
Is the video supposed to be playing?
Oh, is it not playing? Oh, God damn it.
Typical leftist has to lie.
Defend and preserve government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Our brightest days are before us.
Wait. Is this? I think this is it.
Our greatest achievements come up. They're loaded.
Oh my God. It's an hour and a half. Debbie, I'm not going to do an hour and a half, but I am going to get you that clip. Now, basically, just out of stubbornness. Trump.
Debbie's like pretending we're scared. Like, what the fuck are we talking? Like, first of all, again, I'm not
Debbie,
like if I were in charge, I would just let the thing play and talk over it while I was insulting you, right? But like we're sitting here and looking through we're looking through the video to appease you because you're refusing to just tell us the deeper thing. Like, I don't understand. What are we lying about? How are we scared? Like, what? What are you saying? I just. Please be specific. What are your claims? What are we arguing about? Are we really
also,
sincerely
Andrea,
arguing
stop
about
falling
the
for the bait.
transcript?
You can't get angry. That's her whole worldview depends on you getting too angry to make her talk sense, and it's working.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like if I step in dog shit, my shoe's gonna stink. Whoa! Yeah. Oh, not my shoe stinks. How dare this? Like, I mean, whoa, dude. But you're right. You're right.
So, I find myself. Oh my God! But here's something genuinely concerning because I've watched clips of this thing. Now I find myself scouring the internet, unable to pull up the actual.
That's because YouTube pulled down a lot of the original content, like the week of January 6th. But also, I won't debate someone that goes to ad hominem attacks, says Debbie. Ad hominem means I am insulting you without an argument. That is not what I'm doing. I'm calling you stupid in addition to arguing that you're refusing to actually engage in a proper argument. You, on the other hand, are actually doing ad hominem because you're accusing us of lying without actually arguing as to how we are lying. You're just saying, you're a liar, you're a liar, you're a liar, that's you, you're a liar. You won't explain how we're lying, right? What does ad hominem means? It means insult without argument. That is what you are doing. You are insulting us, accusing us of lying without arguing with us as to how we are lying. So you are fucking stupid. Don't say phrases. Don't say phrases you don't understand the meaning of. I'm sorry. Oh, I got censored.
You got
fake news media.
Now, Debbie.
Okay.
I just did a classic media thing, which is going harder on the person that's right than on the person that's wrong. She's correct here. It's just the facts. You can be angry about it, but it's true. You're going out of your way not to have a serious conversation. And she's, despite the anger she's feeling is coming from the fact that she is taking time to have a serious conversation with you. And her old pal Jake's dragged her into it. But consider that a warning to you as well, then.
Smoking weed, drinking beer, and Jake is like, hey, I want to come on this show and talk to Trump supporters. And I'm like, hell yeah. And now I'm sitting here talking to Debbie, and she won't even show the fuck up. No, Debbie, you said I was doing ad hominem.
No.
Again, she's quoting it in the chat.
Get sucked into it. I'm making a point here.
Okay.
Debbie.
She says, quote, directed against the person rather than the position they are maintaining. I did both. Again, do you know what rather means? Rather means choosing one instead of the other.
This is all the distraction. I'm going to ask you now politely to cut it off, Andrea.
Okay.
Debbie, here's the deal. I'm not going to let her call you stupid because I've invited you here and you're a guest. But at the same time, you're a guest, and I won't have you calling my other guest, Andrea, a liar. She is not, and you will wipe those words out your mouth, or I'm going to kick you. Now, consider how badly I want to talk to you, Debbie. I am willing to forego. Did I mute you? Oh my God. I'm sorry. I didn't. Wait. I didn't mean to mute you the second time. I'm genuinely
No,
sorry.
I
about
muted
that.
myself that time.
Okay. But Debbie,
Well, 'cause when
consider
I
how
unplugged my
badly I
microphone,
want to
okay.
have a conversation with you. I'm ignoring the normal format. I'm letting you talk via text. That's not the normal format. You're getting special treatment simply because that's how bad I want to talk to you. I'm spending 50 minutes finding a specific quote in a 90-minute speech. That's how badly I want to talk to you.
Am I allowed to respond as long as I maintain
Yes.
composure?
As long as you don't insult. Yes.
Excellent. So Debbie Daly says that I lied about the meaning of ad hominem. That is not true. Ad hominem, I'm going to read the definition that Debbie, could you put it on screen in quotes that she put it on? Directed against
Yeah.
a person rather than the position they are maintaining. Now, if Jake were to be so kind, and he doesn't have to, he could look up the definition of a rather. Rather means to do one thing at the expense of the other. It means you choose one path instead of the other. You have $1 and there are 2 chocolate bars, a Hershey's and a Butterfinger. They both cost 99 cents. Let's imagine there's no tax. You're in Delaware, okay? Shout outs to Delaware. You can choose, would you rather have the Hershey bar or would you rather have the Butterfinger? You cannot choose both. They are mutually exclusive. That is what ad hominem means. It means to insult someone at the expense of, as in not doing an actual argument. You're only insulting them. I, on the other hand, as apologetically as I am now, insulted you in addition, as in including. I had $2. I bought both candy bars. I insulted you and I argued as to how you were wrong. As a result, it is not ad hominem. And also, once again, what would be ad hominem would be saying I lied about the definition of ad hominem without explaining how I lied. So in the process of trying to say that I am an ad hominem user, you yourself did the same thing you were accusing me of, which is very, very typical of Trump supporters. Projection.
Here's the deal, Debbie. Since I cannot find a clip of this, I'm going to play basically the whole speech.
1 second. She retorted real quick. Why am I adding rather? It was on the screen. You copied and pasted. You copied and pasted a definition without reading it.
None
The
of this matters.
definition you copied and pasted says directed against a person rather than the position. Now you're telling me that I added the word rather and saying typical lefties lying.
This
You
is
wrote
a
rather.
technique the right relies on to not have to deal with reality, and we are here to get him to deal with reality. Debbie, I'm playing the whole thing until he says it.
Let's go.
Republicans. And
A
we have
victory
great ones.
tonight
Jim
is
Jordan
simply
and
going
some
to
of these
be
guys, they're
us
out there
getting this
fighting. The
person
House
to
guys are
acknowledge
fighting.
one true
But
thing,
it's
that he sent
incredible.
those people
Many
down
of the
there.
Republicans, I helped them
We're
get in.
not
I
even
helped
get to
Debbie
whether or
Daly
not it was stolen.
posted
helped Vince
another
get elected.
definition. Can you put
I
this on
helped
screen? That also
No.
includes the word rather.
No,
It also
because it's
includes the word
irrelevant,
rather.
and she knows it's
4
irrelevant,
of them
and now
that
you do
say, I
too.
won't
It's
bore you
irrelevant.
with it. And then
Debbie,
all of
you're
a
going to
sudden
hear
you
him
have something
say,
like this, and it's like,
you got to fight like hell,
maybe I'll talk to the
or
president
you're not
sometime
going to have a
later.
country anymore.
No,
You are
it's
going to hear
amazing.
him
The
say
weak
that.
Republicans,
I
they're
play
pathetic
dirty
Republicans,
because
and
I
that's what
read the
happens.
words you
If this
posted.
happened to
That's
the
playing dirty.
Democrats, there'd be hell all
You are
over the
giving her an
country
out
going on.
from
There'd
this.
be hell all over the country.
Don't give her the
But
out.
just
You're
remember
not getting
this,
the out,
you're
Debbie.
stronger,
You're going to acknowledge
you're
that he sent these
smarter,
people down there.
you've got
You're going to
more
see it.
going than
You're going to
anybody,
deal with
and they
reality.
try
And
demean
we're going to accept it
everybody
together.
having to do with us.
And
you're
if you
the
didn't
real
know he
people.
said
You're the
this, it's
people
because a
that built
multi-billion-dollar
this nation.
industry
You're not the people that
is
tore
in
down
place
our
to
nation.
convince you that reality isn't
The
real.
weak Republicans, and that's it. I
They're
really
the villain,
believe it. I think
then.
I'm going
Now
to use
you.
the term the weak Republicans. You got a lot of them, and you got a lot of great ones, but you got a lot of weak ones. They've
You
turned
got a lot
a
of
blind
weak ones.
eye, even as Democrats enacted policies that chipped away our jobs, weakened our military, threw open our borders and put America last. Did you see the other day where Joe Biden said, I want to get rid of the America First policy? What's that all about? How do you say, I want to get rid of America first? Even if you're going to do it, don't talk about it, right?
Ooh,
Unbelievable. What
tells
we
you a
have
little
to
bit
go
about how
through.
he thinks.
What we have to go through, and you have to get your people to fight. And if they don't fight, we have to primary the hell out of the ones that don't fight. You primary them. We're gonna let you know who they
They're
are.
getting there.
I can already tell you, frankly.
Gotta get them to
But
fight.
this year, using the pretext of the China virus and the scam of mail-in ballots, Democrats attempted the most brazen and outrageous election theft. And there's never been anything like this. It's a pure theft in American history.
All right, you know, we're not going to pause because we don't have
That
time.
election,
but
our election was over
there was
at 10
no
o'clock
there was
in the
no
evening.
steal.
We're leading
Oh, she's going
Pennsylvania,
off.
Michigan, Georgia by hundreds of thousands of votes. And then late in the evening or early in the morning, boom, these explosions of bullshit.
Debbie, one last
all of a
warning,
sudden-
and I'm not going to let you. You know what? Mods, don't ban her. Don't ban her. She's going to try to get out of this by getting banned. Don't. I'm going to tell you again, though. Don't insult Andrea. And Andrea, don't, you're fine.
Don't forget when Romney got beat. Romney, hey.
Oh,
you see his,
we have until 10 p.m. for this motherfucker to say it. I don't care if this ship sinks. I don't care if everybody else leaves and it's just the three of us. We are going to hear this guy say, you're going to fight like hell or you're not going to have a country anymore.
No, I don't know. He got
And Debbie's going to have to acknowledge he sent him down there. And that is the one thing we'll gain.
We look at the facts, and our election was so corrupt that in the history
wasn't.
of this country, we've never seen
I have
anything like
PTSD
it.
from
You can
listening
go
to the
all way
speech
back.
again.
Right.
You know, America is blessed.
Oh
with
man.
Listen, for the
all
record,
over the world. They
his
talk about
own
our elections.
election
You know what the world
advisor
says
came
about
out
us
and
now?
said it was the
He said,
most
"We don't have
secure
free and
election
fair
in
elections."
U.S.
You know what
history.
else? We don't have a free and fair press. Our media is not free. It's not fair. It suppresses thought. It suppresses speech. And it's become the enemy of the people. It's become the enemy of the people. It's the biggest problem we have in this country. No
Can we talk about how
third
Debbie
world
called me low
countries would
class?
even attempt
Yeah,
to
we're
do
gonna.
I'm
what we
Bardock up in
caught
this
them
bitch.
doing. And you'll hear about that in just a few minutes. Republicans are constantly fighting like a boxer with his hands tied behind his back. It's like a boxer. And we want to be so
Oh
nice.
man.
We want to be so
Trump's doing a
respectful of
rally in
everybody,
Las Vegas
including
tonight.
bad
Is he
people.
really?
Yep.
And we're going to have to fight much harder.
I'm surprised
And
he's
Mike
doing
it's gonna
Pence
rallies.
is going to
start
have
soon.
to come through for us. And if he doesn't,
I put some money on
that will
Poly
be
Market.
a sad day for our
for that.
country.
Ooh, what'd you bet on?
Because
I don't
you're
remember.
sworn
Oh, I bet on
to
Loomer.
uphold
Right.
our
Loomergate.
Constitution.
He's gonna bring up
Now it is
Loomer.
to
That's what I put my
Congress
money
to
on.
confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here.
Real quick pause. Did you notice that he said he'd be there with him? Was he there
Interesting.
with him?
So he
No, he
lied
didn't.
once, but when he said peacefully, he was certainly telling the truth.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol,
Here it is.
and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong. We have come to demand that Congress do the right thing.
Now, real quick, Debbie, you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong. We're going to keep going for the not going to have a country anymore comment. But that alone, Debbie, what percentage of those people in that crowd of 10,000 do you think heard we got to go drag those people out. I'll give you a hint. There was people shouting, "Hang Mike Pence." There was people that shattered the windows. There was people that got into fist fights with cops.
And only count the
Sounds like a good
electors who have
time to
been
me.
lawfully slated.
kinda.
Lawfully slated. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make
peacefully
your
and
voices
patriotically.
heard. Today we
There we
will
go. Maybe
see
that
whether
means
Republicans
they don't
stand strong for integrity
bash in Brian
of
Sicknick's
our
head with a
elections,
fire
but whether or
extinguisher.
not they stand strong for our country.
Hey,
Our country.
let's not
Our
focus on the
country
good parts of
has
January.
been under siege for a long
Fuck,
time.
dude.
Far longer than this 4-year period. We've said it on a much straighter course, I thought, 4 more years, I thought it would be easy. We created the greatest economy.
I thought it'd be easy.
We rebuilt our military. We get you
I love that he
biggest
says
tax
that.
cuts in history,
Says the
right? We got
if he
you the
wasn't a
biggest regulation
fascist
cuts.
uh
There's no
monster,
I know.
precedent,
It's the
whether
greatest
it's
stand-up
4
comedian of all
years,
time.
8
It really
years,
is.
really.
I mean,
or in one
it's
case more,
and that's the
got
part of
anywhere
it that
near
makes
the
it
regulation
it's
cuts.
the
Used to
forbidden
take 20
fruit of
years to get a
stand-up
highway
comedy.
approved.
Like you can't
Now
like
we're
it, but
down to
it's
2.
just
I
too
want to
good.
get it down to 1, but we're down to 2. Safety. We created Space Force. So we
I don't care
create
about Space Force.
about right to our vets. The 100% of
Well, now
people
Debbie's
that
going to accuse you of
living
censorship
done.
because you're not playing the full tape.
Doctor, you haven't
We
made
only are
life
trying
The
to get
fake
to
news
Fight Like
media
Hell.
here, the
far
fake news
secondarily.
goddamn media here
But
is
we've saved
censoring
1,000
our
people
former
would not have
goddamn
treated.
president
We
here
have
who
what's
wants to make
called,
America
if we
great
see
again.
do things
All he's trying
badly,
to do is make
we
America
say,
great
"Joe,
again, and he's
you're
getting
fired. Get out of here."
censored.
Before you couldn't do that.
Censorious
This
senatorial
ever thought
campaign
And
to
that's
censor the
we've done it
president.
quickly. It was going to be over election. Knew what happened. They know what happened.
Oh, here we go.
Which was such a catastrophe when I watched. And even these guys knew what happened. They know what happened. They're saying, "Wow."
Again, he just
Pennsylvania's
lies like that. He says they know blank
Wow.
blank.
Wisconsin. Look at the big
He
leads. we
can't
had,
know that.
right? Even though the press
Just the
said
basic logical
we're going to lose Wisconsin by 17
fallacy.
points. Even though
Damn
the
it.
press says we set a record. And we set a record with Hispanic, with the black community. We set
damn
a
it.
record with everybody.
We set a record with Hispanic.
Debbie
That's-
Daly, I'm down to debate.
Very
Oh, you
important
want to
window.
discuss
It goes right
policy?
over
All right,
there,
Debbie,
right
come on the
there.
show. Let's
You
discuss
see the
policy.
We're
Take
ending at
place.
10. Debbie,
And
I
I'm
will
gonna be
come on
watching
again tonight. After
because
Letterhack
history is
show is
going to be
over, for
made.
real, I'll come on again
We're going
tonight.
to see
We
whether
can
or
do
not we
Saturday
have
as well.
great and
I'll
courageous
keep it
leaders,
open
or whether or
as long
not
as necessary.
Debbie, I
leaders
would like to say this
that
much.
should be ashamed. They'll be ashamed. And
I
you know
will
what?
donate
If they do the
$100
wrong thing,
to
we
any
should
charity of
never,
your
ever
choice
forget
if you
that
come
they
on the
did.
show
Never
in the
forget.
next 5 minutes
We should never ever
for a
No,
forget.
25
negative.
to
With
30
only
minute
3
Oh wait,
conversation.
yeah.
states
5
in
minutes, yeah.
question, we
But
win
don't.
the
She's gonna
presidency of
do
the
it to like
United
Al Qaeda or
States.
something.
And by
You
the
can
way,
come
I'll
on within the
donate to
next
Al
5
Qaeda.
minutes.
I have no
more
problem
important
donating
day
to Al Qaeda.
than it was 24 hours.
You know,
ago.
I've donated to them before, so I already have
Only
them
tell
in
of
my
the
address
president
book.
more
So
important election
no worries.
than it was 2 days of the House. Those are studying Constitution legally gotten. They gave these people bad things to vote for, and they voted.
Jesus
what
Christ.
this screen.
I forget
the
how
only unhappy
sincerely
person in the
bored I
United
get
States
listening
There's
to
so
this
much
dude
filler.
ramble. There,
Why didn't
he-
you do this for me 4 years ago?
why not write your speech
Change
out,
the
man?
votes. 10,000
Why
in
he's
Michigan.
trying to ad lib?
There's a lot of
Never
reasons why
changed the
not.
whole
It's not
thing.
fun.
She's
It's
not
more
doing
fun to
it.
just kind of make it up.
She doesn't
fair.
care anymore. What
That's
happened?
fair.
Where's Hillary? And members of the Senate and Kelly Loeffler. Yeah, so and David, what a good race. That I was telling you, Blackburn, terrific. Tom is at step. So it takes to find that out. You know, we don't want that play politically. Pretty good. $1,000 to people. We want nothing. Just totally destroyed. Yes.
Is there a transcript? We did that, Pinkerbell, but it wasn't good enough. We have to do it on the
Oh, yeah.
video.
Because it's so much.
This is turning
The
into
American
avant-garde
people,
art
they're-
where you
no, I
watch
find-
how
Yeah.
much
They had their
work
point
we're
of view,
willing
I
to
had
put
my
in to
point of view.
convince one
But you'd
person
have an
of the
argument. Now
nonsense
what
they've
they
been
do is
You know,
supporting.
I do have to say, like, it is pretty
Where's
enjoyable to know that Debbie
where's
is just
$1
sitting
billion
in
of
here,
skin
like,
equity?
just
I
like
said
typing
that
up
it
a
would be a
storm,
whole
trolling the
different
shit out of
sum,
us, and we're like
thousands of
totally falling
energy.
for it. I mean, that's what I signed
We're
up
not,
for. I
though.
signed up to fall
Yeah, I
for
was
it.
gonna
but-
say that's the thing.
gone
You can let the tantrums
like a
happen, but we're going
they've lost
to
all credit.
face facts
The-
together.
Yeah, but you know, the whole
was a little
time
bit
she
better
really just
because
wanted to talk about policy. Yeah, that's right.
Which also
That's why when
means
I
we're-
offered to talk about policy an hour ago, she said no and chose to talk about January 6th instead.
No, I chose to talk about January 6th. I think
Well,
there
I
is
mean,
nothing.
you said that, but then she chose to
Oh, that's
argue with
true.
you. I
She
offered a
she could've
policy
picked.
debate,
Yeah, yeah.
and she,
You're right.
I'm a
You're right.
liar, so I can't do it. I was too busy adding rather to. I can't believe
All
it.
right, that's good.
No, it's,
A very small team.
The
All
night
right.
I was an offensive lineman. I'm saying, really? That must have been a very small team.
What the f are you
Turned out to
talking
be a
about?
disaster.
He's
For 'em.
just
One in
busting
particular, I
balls.
fought. They all said, "Sir, cut him loose. He's killing us, senators. You know, very low."
Oh
Cut
my
them.
god.
They made it. Said, "No, I won't do that. Damn, let him rule the right way." But it almost seems that they're all going country. Control. Read a
Whoa.
story in one of the newspapers recently. How I control the 3 Supreme Court justices. I control them. They're puppets. I read it about Bill Barr, that he's my personal attorney, that he'll do anything for me. And it makes it really important. I like, and this, I haven't spoken to any of them. Any of them.
Holy sh
Since virtually they
there's
got
so
in.
much of this,
But the
man.
story is the way they can get
There
out
is.
to rule against Trump. So same
I love when
democracy
Trump talks about himself
with
in
his
third
case
person.
Oh
in
yeah.
every single
It's
swing
one of my
state.
favorites.
Local officials, state officials, owners, legislators.
We're getting there.
So as you
I'm
have a
almost
Democrat
positive
mayor, and you have a lot of Democrats
it's towards
all
the
over
end of the
place,
speech.
they
I
can
don't
do that.
remember. I have only
They
watched this the one
Various
time when it
states
was live.
abolished the signature vote. What they did, occasion cheat.
I
There
do
were
want to
over
point out
205
that he's already the specific quote was "fight like hell," although he is already said the "you have to be strong" quote, and I understand a lot of you are going to march to the Capitol after he said "Proud Boys stand back and stand by" in the last debate. Proud Boys being a terrorist organization, Oath Keepers being another terrorist organization. He sent those folks there.
Not only are they voting, they want an application to vote. One of them was 20 ballots were cast.
Jesus Christ.
And by the way,
Sorry for blasphemy.
were
Okay.
illegally. In other words, they did fraud. And
Lies.
you got the
You know.
ballot back before you mailed it. And send the ballots. So they've already. That's too good.
Oh,
right?
we're getting there. He's
25,000
getting worked up
ballots
into a
in
tizzy.
Pennsylvania were requested by nursing home residents.
He's filling his
Numbers
diapers.
illegal.
Here we
The
go.
day before the election, the state of Pennsylvania. Yet this number was suddenly and drastically increased.
I just want to say that the offer to give $100 to a charity of Debbie's choice has now expired. So,
Shame.
unfortunate.
Quick. Doesn't happen that back. Has to agree to send. And think of who you are.
Letterhack says, "Isn't this the speech when afterwards he says, 'Come on, I wasn't being serious'? Oh wait, that's all of them."
Oh, yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Because remember, when he said he lost by a whisker, he was being totally serious. That time, he was very, very adamant that he was 100%.
He took that one back too. He took that one back.
Did he?
On the debate stage.
No, that's what I mean though. Like, but he was arguing with the moderator saying, "I wasn't being sarcastic."
Okay, so but he was being serious when he said he wasn't being serious. Gotcha.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly.
These are the
Exactly.
facts.
Totally makes
Pressure
sense.
effort. They guarantee you a lot of the television sets and a lot of those.
Mhm.
But these are the things you don't hear about. You don't hear what you just heard. I want to deceive you. Impression polls. That's we won Wisconsin. Be down the
Oh
day
my
before
God.
Washington Post.
Oh my
they
God.
said, "What is that?" I said, "But
I
what are they
swear to
making
God,
4 or
if the
5
clock
points?
gets run
Because
out
then
on this,
people vote.
I'm going to do nothing
When
else
you're down
tonight
17,
but
they say,
pull
"Hey,
that quote
I'm not going to waste my time. I love the president.
and
but there's
write
no way."
Debbie's
Yeah, I mean,
channel
just have it
personally.
on the soundboard, honestly.
It's
Oh,
very
yeah.
interesting. This pollster said, "Sir, if you're down 3, 4, 5 people vote, it's the presidential."
I have
defeat
23
tonight
more
on
minutes to
television."
comb
Well,
through this fucking speech
every
and
time I
find this,
put
and
out
I'll
a
do it.
tweet,
If you want, by the
that's-
way,
even if
if
it's
you get
totally
sick of
correct,
this and you're just
totally
like, I'm
correct,
going to leave,
I get a flag.
I don't give a fuck.
I get a flag.
I'm going to pull this
And
quote.
they all, it's very like they should. Here's basics. And if you want to go
But I
through
hope
big
not, because
public,
I'm
if you
actually
have a
deeply
new-
enjoying this. I'm
and it
deeply
should be
enjoying
illegal.
that I get the best
I've
of
been
both
tell-
worlds, because you're saying the things I want to say, and
for
I get to
some
look like a
reason,
good
Mitch
guy
and the group, they
by
don't
being
wanna
like,
put it
no,
in
no,
there. And they don't realize
I'm low
that
class.
Apparently.
I got
Apparently.
fucked up
Them
teeth and I
things
love to
aren't
swear.
so.
I'm low class.
They want to
I
indoctrinate
Doesn't get
disagree
any
with that
worse.
and the
assessment.
American people are finally standing up.
Partially, you do love to swear.
Advertising. We have some 2 months ago. They're
Oh
there
my
for
God.
United
Give me
States.
the you're not going to have a
Congress.
country
The
anymore.
list is so their legs, their face. I brought them back home, largely back home. Afghanistan, Iraq. Remember, I used to say in the old days, don't go in Iraq, but if you go in, keep the oil. We didn't keep the oil. So stupid, these people. And Iraq has
Just
billions and billions of dollars
really
now in the
saying
bank.
the quiet part out loud.
And what
Sorry,
do we
I'm
do?
Yep.
We get nothing. We never get. But we do actually.
I'm pulling
we get
up
the oil here. We did good. We got rid
the
of
quote.
the ISIS caliphate.
Oh, Robert Reich.
We got rid of plenty of different things that everybody knows. And the rebuilding of our military in 3 years, people said it couldn't be done. And it was all made in the USA. All made in the USA. Best equipment in the world. In Wisconsin, corrupt Democrat-run cities deployed more than 500 illegal, unmanned, unsecured drop boxes,
Oh my
which
God.
collected a minimum of one thing, a lot of boxes. And you know, that this was an absentee ballot application, meaning position is such. In Madison,
Donald
drop
James
boxes.
says,
You
I
know
think
that
Jake is
is
secretly
bags.
trolling us to
He's
see
just
how much
like
of this
it.
we can withstand.
Money
It's all
put back,
performance art.
wins us the state.
Kinda.
Recording sleep. So did one of the most corrupt.
You are live
between
seeing
your governor
what
and
it
your
takes
Secretary of
to
State.
get through to
And now
somebody
you
who
have it
is
again last night.
who is
Just take a look at what
choosing
happened. What a
to
mess.
cosplay that
Constitution,
Donald Trump did not try a coup.
settlement agreement. That
Um,
I beat her.
it shouldn't
The
require this
Democrats
much
took the
effort. But with the
Republicans
magic
to
of the
lunch
internet, what we're going to
because the
do is
Secretary-
chop
that's
it
it.
down to the relevant parts,
They won't
which
let
is
us
going to
do
mean
it.
cutting
The
out
only
about
reason they won't,
95% in the
they
middle,
let us verify.
where I fucking
They will
sieve
not.
around
They
trying to
can't
find
but it was
one
done in
specific
such a
quote
way
that Debbie
can't
has
let this stuff
decided
happen.
this
We
hinges
won't have
on,
a
rather
country
than
if it
looking at the
happens.
entirety of it.
As a
But in
result,
fairness to
Well,
Debbie,
and keep in
I
mind, she
did
wants
say
to discuss
was
policy.
more than 10 area was so
Like,
doubt
apparently.
about it. And more people
Debbie,
were
I
voting
will
by
ask you to
mail for the
consider
first
this.
time. The rejection
This is
rate
him
was drastically
giving a
lower
speech
than
in
it had ever
D.C.
been
that I'm
before.
combing through
The
on
only way
January
this can be
6th
explained is if tens of
as
thousands
the election
of
is being
illegitimate votes
certified
were
after
added
he
to the
lost
tally. That's the only way
60
you can
court
explain it.
cases,
By the
and
way, you're
he is
talking about
telling
tens of thousands.
untruths to these people.
If Georgia had
He's
merely
saying
rejected
that
the
there
same
was
number
fraud
of
when there
unlawful
was not.
ballots as
He
in
is
other
saying
years,
that the
there
courts
should
would
have
not
been
hear him
approximately
when they heard him
45,000
60
ballots
times.
rejected, far more
I
than
understand that
what
I
we
said a
needed to win,
specific
just
quote
over
happens here.
11,000.
I believe
They
I'm going to
should
be
find
able to
those
pull it up
votes.
for you
They should
just
absolutely
barely in
find them.
time. But set that
Just
aside
over
for a moment and
11,000
ask
votes is
yourself,
all we
of the
need.
10,000 people
They
that
defrauded
were
us out
there
of a
when
win
he
in
sent
Georgia.
them
And
to
we're
the
not going to
Capitol
forget it.
building,
There's only one reason the
do
Democrats
you
could
really
possibly
think
want to
that he
eliminate
was
signature
surprised
matching,
when violence happened?
oppose voter ID, and
After he
stop
told the Proud Boys to
citizenship
stand back and stand
confirmation?
by, do
Are
you
you
really
a
think
citizenship? You're not allowed to ask
that
that
he was
question.
surprised? After Rudy
Because they wanna
Giuliani said
steal the
trial by
election.
combat, do you really
The
think he was
radical left
surprised?
knows
Or do
exactly
you
what
think
they're doing.
perhaps that
They're
was the
ruthless,
plan?
and it's time that
Because the
somebody
January
did
6th
something
committee
about
says
the Constitution
that appears
and
to have
for
been
the
the plan.
good of our country.
To
And if you're
intimidate
not,
Mike
I'm
Pence.
going to be very disappointed in you. I will tell you
Whoa.
right now.
To intimidate Mike Pence. That was the plan. To scare the Republicans into refusing to certify the election. Let's see what he said. Remember, he's a couple blocks away from where this is happening. He's talking to a crowd of 10,000 people. This is what he said.
Time that somebody did something about it. And Mike Pence, I hope you're going to stand up for the good of our Constitution and for the good of our country. And if you're not, I'm going to be very disappointed in you. I will tell you right now. I'm not hearing good stories. In Fulton County, Republican poll watchers were ejected, in some cases physically,
Wasn't true.
from the
Wasn't
room
true.
under the false we now know was a total lie. And suitcases of ballots.
Debbie, sincerely,
thousands of votes, up
sincerely,
to 100,000.
was that not enough for you? Please answer in text if you're still here. Was that not enough for you? If so, why not? All right, ask yourself, search your soul for a moment. Don't worry about being right or wrong on the internet. This is a small show, man, and we're all too high to remember anything very long at all.
That's true.
So take a moment for self-reflection. Do you sincerely believe that this guy does not bear responsibility for what happened January 6th? That's one question. Another question was what happened part of a plan he had? Peter Navarro, who was part of that plan, admitted to it on Ari Melber's show. He called it the Green Bay sweep. We can look that up next if you want. That one's going to be easy to find. But here's the rest of the quotes. Here I will continue searching for. Ask yourself that question. Andrea, do you think, by the way, if you have to guess, A, do you think that Debbie sincerely believes Trump is not guilty here? And B, do you think she will acknowledge that he bears responsibility?
Well, I think
Yes, I do.
Debbie will never acknowledge defeat in any capacity. I mean, she literally copied and pasted a definition without reading it and then accused me of lying when I read it live on stream, right? So she doesn't really have any integrity in that regard. So whether she genuinely believes that Donald Trump is responsible or not, I think she genuinely believes he is and that it's a good thing. And that's why she is playing the game of pretending like he didn't. So that he can get away with doing it again.
That's my concern as well. I do think that she
66,000 votes in Georgia
I think
were cast
she
by individuals under
simply
the legal
supports
law. They moved out of the
the
state
coup.
prior to November 3rd.
Well, yeah, that's what right wingers
They
do
say
is
they
they
moved
use
like
language as a
3,000
weapon,
like
right? So like the idea that she
Georgia and
wants you to
every
sit
one of
here and do
these
this or whatever is
people
just,
and from
to
you,
purposefully
from
confuse
comprehensive
you
audit,
and have you do
single
something else
contested
instead of
state,
doing something that's more important.
36,000 return with no
No, there's
address.
nothing more important.
More than 22,000
I mean,
That's for
folding
TSO.
laundry is more
returned
important
them
than this
yet.
kind of shit. Let's be
More than there
honest.
were
But hey,
actual
I get it. I get
150,000
it.
people read 103,000 ballot observers machines.
If
were
nothing
purposely
else, I want her
lowered
to see
before
how
they were
much effort
used
I'm going to
to
put into
count over
taking her argument
130,000
seriously.
ballots. If you
And I
signed
want
your
her to
name as
see how
Santa
much of
Claus,
this other
it would go
treasonous
through.
nonsense, how much of this
There were
litany
also
of
more than
lies we're willing
42,000 double
to
votes in
apparently
Nevada.
sift through.
Over 100
And I ask you, Debbie, why ignore all the
50,000
rest?
people
Why ignore
were hurt so
his
badly
lawyer
by
saying
what
fight
took
like hell?
place, and
Not fight like hell. His
1,500
lawyer
ballots were
saying
cast
trial
by
by combat.
individuals whose
Why
names and
ignore
dates of birth
him
match
saying
Nevada
you got to be
residents who
strong?
died in 2020
Why ignore
prior
him
to
saying
November
Proud
3rd
Boys stand
election.
back and stand
More than
by?
8,000 votes were cast
Why
by
ignore the
individuals
fact
who
that
had
I
no
mean I told you
address,
earlier the
probably
guy
didn't
said
live
the
there.
Emmys were rigged.
The
The
margin
guy
in
said
Nevada
that the
is down at a
2016
very low
election was
number.
going to
Any
be
of these
rigged
things would have
unless
taken
he
care
won.
of the
He said he wouldn't
situation.
accept
We
the
would have
results
won Nevada
unless
also.
I win.
Every one of these we're going over, we win. In
No,
Michigan,
actually, what he
quickly,
said
the
is,
Secretary
"I'll
of
accept the
State,
results
real
if I
great one,
win."
flooded the state with unsolicited mail-in
So you
ballot
won't accept them if you
applications
lose.
sent to every person on the
Why are you
rolls
choosing
in
to
direct
ignore all of
violation of
those
state
things?
law.
And now you're pretending like
More than
this,
17,000
like this
Michigan
is
ballots were
too
cast
close
by
to call. It's
individuals
not
whose
close.
names and dates of birth
In the
match
newsroom,
people
as this was
who were
happening,
deceased.
the words
In
out of my
Wayne
mouth to my
County,
fellow
that's a great
newsmen
one.
were, "This is a coup."
That's Detroit. 100 voter.
Don't
Nobody
get,
knows where they
Mister,
came from.
you get that
Also
city's
in
name
Wayne
out your mouth.
County, ballots
You're not
over
welcome
and
there.
turnout was
Not you, Debbie.
139%
Probably not you, Debbie, but
of
certainly not
registered
you,
voters.
Andrea,
Think of
but
that.
not Trump. He's not welcome.
This
As
is in
demonstrated by the
Michigan,
fact that when he tried
Detroit,
to
Michigan. A
talk
career
to
employee of the
auto
Detroit
workers, he had
City
to
Workers
get
Watch. The same worker
and
was
go to another
instructed
town.
to validate any single
Didn't
stall,
go well.
backdate thousands of
No, it
ballots.
didn't. And he could only
Testified
find a
100
non-union
votes
shop that would
had
have
been
him.
counted. Tens of thousands of additional ballots arrived.
Christ.
Voting had ended. Michigan suddenly astounding basement. It's gigantic. And they in Obama, Biden killed them, but the swing state barely into the lead. We were in one Trump to Biden.
This is maddening.
William Judiciary Subcommittee describing Indian voting rounding 90% of the time, determined out of a total people.
I just thought of how I can
The
do this
source of the
faster.
machines
That's a
was
big
said
applause
cast
line
tens of
because these
thousands
people are all
of
traitors. So
in several
when they
counties in Georgia. For
in this case,
example,
Debbie, I wasn't
in Bibb County,
sincerely wasn't talking
President
about you.
Trump
I
was
mean the
reported
people in
to
the
have
crowd were literally traitors.
29,391
So they
votes.
applauded
10 years
that.
later. Minutes
So all I have to do
was
is
President
jump through and listen for a
29,000.
big
Twitch
applause line.
about this.
That's true.
When you hear, while there is no evidence to prove any wrongdoing, this is the most fraudulent thing anybody said. This is a
He just acknowledged that people are hearing there is no evidence.
criminal enterprise.
Soak that in.
This is a criminal enterprise. And the press will
one
say,
thing up there is
and I'm
definitely a
sure they
criminal
won't put any
enterprise.
of that on there because that's no good. You ever see while on for another been anything voters had more,
He's
but you
getting
don't have
there.
to think, right?
Oh, I'm
Face of
about
the
to
United
finish.
States without there any question. Resident to get straight to me says you have fraud. Your Mike has the voter out of Democrat voted.
Oh, this is gonna happen.
Quite make it, sir. You can matter. We have almost 10. It's allowed to happen again, but we'll let him talk. Okay, well, we promise. I said I'm not interested.
Oh, here's the thing. Here's why I'm getting excited. He's talking faster and he's getting more nonsensical, and this is usually when
Oh
he gets
yeah,
in
that's when he
trouble.
goes insane.
Requirements for voter ID. To buy in order to cast fire proof of.
The one problem is
Just
I
had a good
do want
victory
to
in court on that
push
one.
the sound of his voice out of my head
ban
with a
ballot
bullet.
harvesting
That's true.
and prohibit the use of unsecured. Is a vote for the finally and guts company, no other person in a accountable. And if these people had courage and guts, they would get rid of Section 230.
Oh God,
Use
remember
their
the
power
Section 230
and
bullshit?
interfere in our elections.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
it has to be stopped. And the Republicans have to get a lot tougher, and so should the Democrats. They should be regulated, investigated, and brought to justice under the fullest extent of the law. They're totally breaking the law. Together, we will drain
They're
the
totally
Washington
breaking
swamp,
the law.
and we will clean up the corruption in our nation's capital. We have done a big job on it, but you think it's easy? It's a dirty business. It's a dirty business. You have a lot of bad people out there.
He's carrying a lot more
Despite
cheeseburgers
everything
on
we've
him at the
been
time.
through, looking
That's
out
true.
all over
He
this
slimmed down.
country and seeing fantastic
Yeah, well, it's
crowds,
you know, it's
although
all the
this, I think, is
Ozempic.
our all-time record.
What's with Ozempic? Why are I'm
think you
hearing
have
that a lot lately.
250,000.
Is that
Oh,
like
I know too much
Today,
about Ozempic.
I have to say,
Oh no.
if we allow this group of people to illegally
Basically,
take
it's
over our
a
country,
drug
which is
that
illegal
makes
when the
you
votes are
not
illegal,
crave things that you're
when the
addicted
way they
to
got
as
there
much,
is illegal,
and
when
it's
the
mostly
states
used
that
for
vote
food.
are
So
given
it's more.
false and
It also has some
fraudulent
other stuff, but that's
information.
like the primary effect,
We are the greatest
right? So
country
it's for diabetics to help them lose
and we
weight
are
and
headed
regulate
and we're
insulin
headed
and
in
stuff
the
like
right
that.
direction. You know, the
But
wall is built.
also, Hollywood
We're
has
doing
figured
record
out,
numbers
oh,
at
I
the
can
wall.
lose
Now they
10
want to
pounds
take
with
down the
Ozempic.
wall. Let's
And
let
so they've
everyone
been
flow it.
like finding legal
Let's let
loopholes to
everybody
like get a
flow it.
shitload of this drug. And so it's
They
caused
did a
like
great job with the
shortages for
wall. Remember
diabetics
the
and
wall?
stuff. It's a huge
Fans are
problem.
forming again. As this enormous, we have a deep and overwhelming problem.
But also,
Together,
you
we are
know,
determined
the
and
drug
for
itself,
the people.
I'm skeptical.
Our brightest days
Such a
are
lame
before us.
2020
Our
drug.
greatest
Like
achievements.
the
still
80s
wait. I
had
think one of
Coke,
our
man.
great achievements
Yeah, it's
will be
true.
how corrupt our elections were.
Oh boy, we got to go
All right,
back.
we got 7 more minutes.
Our country anymore. Not yet begun.
Oh, wow.
Exciting adventure. You don't fight like hell. You're not.
Oh, hold on. I'm
There
about
we go.
to
Finally.
climax. Oh, you'll notice on the screen, Debbie. And I want, by the way, I want the fact that we spent the entire hour pulling one quote for you to be a testament to you and your whole audience of how far we're willing to go in order to have an earnest conversation with you. Here is the quote. Trump, in front of a crowd of 10,000 people, including terrorists from the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys, said the following.
Elections were. And again, most people would stand there at 9 o'clock in the evening and say, I want to thank you very much. And they go off to some other life.
In other words, he's saying some people would concede the election they lost.
But I said, something's wrong here. Something's really wrong. Can't
happened. Imagine that he could lose.
We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. We fight like hell. And if you're really wrong, can't have happened. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. Something's wrong here. Something's really wrong. Can't have happened. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. Our exciting adventures and boldest endeavors.
Now tell us, Debbie, tell us how talking to a crowd of 10,000 people, tell us how he didn't have a reasonable expectation that people would hear.
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
People would hear that.
And that's like 10 minutes before the end too, right? Like that's the high note. That's the energy they're leaving on.
Crowd of 10,000 people. People hear that. And then he tells them, go down to the Capitol. And he doesn't expect violence. He is either, Debbie, in that scenario, too corrupt or too stupid to be trusted with managing anything, much less a country.
Our exciting
Right. It's 10
adventures
minutes.
and boldest endeavors
about
have
10
not
minutes
yet
before the end of
begun.
the whole thing.
My
In fact, I think
fellow
he's wrapping it up right
Americans, for
here.
our movement,
Yep.
for our children, and for our beloved country.
But
And I say
mostly,
this,
so I stay out of
despite
prison.
all that's happened, the best is yet to come.
That's true. We did have an American president convicted
So we're going to
of felony violations in a
we're
court of law.
going to
That was
That
the
was
walk
best.
down Pennsylvania
true.
Avenue. I love Pennsylvania Avenue. And we're going to the Capitol.
I
and we're
love
going to try and
Pennsylvania
give-
Avenue. Like he loves it.
The Democrats
I
are
used to
hopeless.
park
They're
my
never
car
voting for
there
anything.
when it was a limo.
We're going to try and give our Republicans, the weak ones, because the strong ones don't need any of our help. We're going to try and give them the kind of pride and boldness that they need to take back our country.
Take back the country. Take it back.
Very interesting.
All right, Debbie. Did we satisfy you? Tell us why we didn't.
Debbie
Tell
left
us why.
30 minutes ago, I bet.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yeah. Well, I had fun. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for doing this with me, man.
Yeah.
I
Maybe next
believe-
time we'll get someone else on.
Oh yeah, I think next time I need to be less artsy about it, and instead of being so literal, maybe say put a pin in that. We'll go find it later. Although I like that we sat here and combed through the whole thing, and used it as an opportunity to make pitch our
re-traumatize.
case as we were looking. We'll fine tune this. I think genuinely this was healthy. If for no other reason, they see that we're willing to sincerely try to explain our case to them.
Yes, and also, again, it is a shame that we missed the opportunity because I know Debbie's a huge fan of yours. Like she's been watching you for like months and months at least. I mean, I don't know.
She's been watching me for literally tens of hours.
Yeah.
By which I mean, I was on a show yesterday that she happened to catch, and that's it. I just also want to
Well,
point
she was
something
on
out.
your show, or she was in the comment section yelling at me about Left Past 10 like a couple weeks ago. So that's when
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
that's when I met Debbie. That's
Yeah.
when our relationship, our beautiful, wonderful relationship began. And once again, I mean, I tried. I would love to debate policy. I'd love to debate policy with Trump supporters.
Before
let
I
me
close
know.
this down, first of all, I like the format. I like the good cop, bad cop format. And second, before I close it down, I do want to point out I have tried this before in the past, and every single time it's ended with me ranting and raving at the Trump supporters. So I think there's something to having you here to do that and me here to get to be the
Oh
nice
yeah,
guy.
that way I'm the crazy person, and I'm the crazy, super radical feminist SJW woke liberal.
And we can
and
just
then
randomly switch
You're
it up
just
too.
normal. Oh yeah, that's true.
I
Then
like
they
the
wouldn't
idea.
expect it.
Oh yeah. Oh, all right, buddy. Wait. Nope.
All right.
An outro. Well, since
Everyone
I don't
go
have an
watch the
outro-
letter hack.
Yeah,
that what
letter
we're doing?
hacks on next. I do have an outro. Letter hacks on next. We'll see you around. Andrea, thanks for joining me.
All right. Peace out.
Bye.